April live cattle were down pretty sharply after setting a new recent high. In fact, there was a new high for the calendar year. And in fact, that was a significant new high because what it did was close a gap that was left all the way back in October. In fact, this was the highest level that the April live cattle or the front month live cattle contract has traded since October 20th. And again, there was a gap when cattle gapped lower from the 20th to the next trade session. The lower or the high end of that gap, so the low of the 20th was 190.27. And not coincidentally, I'd suppose, the high for the day here today in April live cattle was 190.27. Exactly, hit it right on the nail, and then proceeded to turn around and close lower. In fact, sharply lower on the day. So a big outside reversal down day for that April live cattle after making a new recent high. We've had sorts of days like these, although not one where we completely filled that gap. Again, we hadn't done that until today. But you've had these sorts of technical signals, if you will, suggesting one thing or another, and yet cattle have just really traded very sideways here for the past almost a month. So now the question is this for real, or is this another one of those head fakes that we have seen? I think we'll have to find out here over the course of the next couple trading days. But that gap fill, I think, makes this maybe a little bit more significant than some of the other things that we have seen. So do keep an eye on that. In the meantime, we've had cash cattle trade a little bit higher this week, $1 to $2 higher, which is good, or a little bit supportive of the market. You've also seen box beef prices trending a little bit higher. In fact, box beef also trading the highest level it's seen since September of last year, and that's good. However, the cash cattle, the actual animal trade is trending higher faster than the box beef prices, which really puts a lot of pressure on those packers margins, which are already under pressure. So that's bringing a lot of concern for what the cash cattle market might do for next week, unless those box beef prices really pick up between now and say mid next week. That could mean trouble, or maybe some lower cash cattle trade. And I think that had something to do with the way we traded here today. One other thing is our weekly export sales that we have on Thursdays. It was a marketing year low. Now, take that with a grain of salt, because this is for 2020 or 2024, which, as we all know, didn't start all that long ago. And we've seen some much, much lower numbers when we go back into 2023. So, today's weekly tally was 11,200. That's down about 20% from last week, also down about 20% from the 4-week average. And it's not a terrible number, but technically speaking, it is a marketing year low. And just to keep in mind, we had numbers in the 400 metric ton range at points last year. So this is still a halfway decent number. Just keep that in mind. Anyways, a lot of things going on here with the cattle. We've gone through a long period of consolidation, right up at the high, finally filled that gap. What do we do from here? Gotta say, I'm kind of on the edge of my seat. So everybody stay tuned, have a wonderful day, and you stay safe.